Want to introduce the podcast again?
Go ahead.
Mark's, I'm not going through that nightmare again.
You called me Dolores Marie. That was fucked up. I was like,
I wonder what she'd say.
I was so offended. It's funny because on the video I was smiling. I'm all, what the fuck?
You outed me.
Dolores grabs her mic. Hold on a minute.
I hit you with yours.
My name is Cito Linick. This is Marcus. And tonight we are joined again by Dolores Bar. I can't do it. Dolores Bar. And tonight's topic, we're talking Doja Cat and possibly a Matthew Perry connection.
Yeah, some kind of weird TikTok theory.
Right. And you are listening to Fallen Hour Radio. Say Fallen Hour. Dolores Bar.
Your voice just cracked.
So tonight's topic is somewhat of, like I was talking about in the last podcast, we're trying to jump into more of the mainstream conspiracies because they have a lot of connection with some of the things we've been talking about in the past. It's just more, I think now that we're seeing all these new things pop up with celebrity deaths and music and things like that, it's coming more prevalent with some of the stuff we've been talking about in the past couple seasons.
Yeah.
What with just some weird conspiracies that are out there. And tonight's episode is actually one of the, I guess, top trending conspiracy theories is Doja Cat.
Yeah.
And before we did get this podcast started, none of these are fact. It's just conspiracy and it's just speculation. And for the purposes of entertainment. Don't want to get sued.
Just for funsies.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
We don't believe this.
We don't believe it, but we believe it.
I know.
Dolores is freaking Charlie Day.
Yuck.
Connecting the dots.
In front of his whiteboard.
So how did this all start? My take on it was it all started when Matthew Perry passed away.
It started before he passed away.
Yeah. Okay. So I have no idea who Doja Cat is. Never listened to her. Never even heard her name until all this popped up. And I guess Alethea listens to her and didn't really put it together. But so yeah, how did this start?
Well, there was a bunch of her fans started saying that she was in the Illuminati because she kind of started going dark, I guess. And
obsessed with like demons and like
yeah,
satanic
some of the stuff
imagery.
she would do, everyone's like, oh, she's an Illuminati for sure. And then she started getting like darker tattoos. Like there's one on her back, and then everyone's like, she's like trying to say like, oh no, like this artist, it's one of his art pieces, but everyone's thinking that has like a darker meaning to it.
Yeah, even like her performances stuff are like really like the imagery and everything is like really like satanic.
Yeah.
And like she's like, it seems like she's like obsessed with that kind of stuff now, doesn't it?
Did you set a timer?
But they like say like that happens a lot with like people like in that like the industry and stuff. They like really start getting into that stuff. They say it's like it comes with the whole Hollywood type thing.
Yeah. And this has been talked about since I remember watching a video. Remember the guys that watching that video? They sold their souls to rock and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
Mom
those.
sat us all down.
Yeah, I mean, Mommy and Dolores was like, yes.
I know they had Slipknot on their raw.
That was actually I brought those from California. Those videos.
Those videos, really?
Yeah. That's where I first seen them.
That's where I found a lot of my new bands.
I know.
Yeah, I remember like we'd always watch those because man, they were freaking crazy. All those documentaries and stuff. There's a lot out there now. When you really look into it, man, it's ugly. Like it is. Like it gives you like an ugly feeling.
It does. It makes you feel like real creeped out.
I know.
I think it was, who was it? Was it Jimi Hendrix said he would go into like a daze when he's on stage? Doesn't remember playing any of that?
That was Santana. Carlos
Oh, right. Santana did that.
Yeah, like he doesn't even remember his performances.
Right. I know Eminem had some things happen like that to him where he doesn't even remember writing some of his first albums.
Yeah. Well, he was like completely
Out of it, yeah.
hammered and on drugs when he'd write them. Like back in the day, like he doesn't do that now, but like back then, he would say that's kind of how he channeled like Slim Shady is what he called it.
Yeah.
Even Beyonce, remember, she said that she would just put her arms up and feel something enter her body.
Yeah.
And like take over.
Yeah. Like there's even like one video I saw, Jay-Z looks like he's kind of creeped out by her actually on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
What does she call it? Sasha Fierce?
Yeah, Sasha Fierce. They all have like their own name.
There was one going around called Rain Man was mentioned a lot. They always have.
We're like, all right.
I think he was like Eminem.
The guy that counts cards?
No, it's,
Stupid.
it's all these rappers would always mention Rain Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I know.
All I pictured was it a hangover.
Yeah, he's coming down the escalator.
Do you remember that?
Man, I gotta look back in. I remember that though. Yeah, I can't remember what it was about.
Yeah, I think back then they said it was like a demon they're talking about, Rain Man.
Yeah,
and he was mentioned in a lot of their songs. The Doja Cat thing, though, it's kind of weird. I know I've seen a lot of things about Taylor Swift of that all these concerts are some sort of big satanic ritual and
I see that
whatnot.
with a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know. Sometimes you look at these artists and it's like are they putting on a show? Like are they
art?
Right? Are they leaning into the
Or
conspiracy?
Kanye's concerts.
Kanye's, yeah, I know. I saw a lot of those.
Yeah,
And those ones that they're like, you're not even supposed to film. Like they won't let you film them, but a lot of people kind of sneak it. And those ones are freaking weird. Those ones are weird.
Sometimes when I look at it though, it's like it's always the rappers or the pop artists that are going into that things. You don't really see that too much with rock bands nowadays.
Well, they probably do, but it's like more the imagery now that they use in a lot of their performances now are elaborate.
Yeah,
Not like they used to be.
I think the only one that I noticed is one of my favorites is Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah,
And he plays into that.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson, of course. But it's when you see these artists doing it, it's almost like cringy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're like playing into the whole "sold my soul" kind of thing. Or I think for a marketing standpoint, I do marketing, but it's like sometimes when things are leading a certain direction, you kind of want to lean into those because it brings more attention, and it gets people
So
more.
you think they're doing it for like attention?
Well, and like if you're looking at it through a scope of like a business kind of thing, I think it makes sense to them kind of leaning into
edgy?
that. Right. Yeah, edgy. And I think that once they start like popping in music, then maybe their producers, whatever, or their managers say, let's lean into that because it's
Yeah.
more of like a. But then again, you have all these different icons or different faces coming together like as one, and they'll kind of like collaborate together. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, because I remember that documentary that I showed you guys. There's a lot of those old like rock legends and stuff that actually kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Saying that they sold their soul, to the devil and stuff. I remember even hearing one of Katy Perry talking about that. She was trying to be like a Christian pop artist, and she said it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't like working at all. And she could have been like metaphorically speaking, but she said she sold her soul to the devil, and that's how she kind of became.
Speaking of that, we mentioned Matthew Perry, and we wish no ill will against Matthew Perry or his family. It's just some conspiracies we're talking about, and I think it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Of why do these certain things circle around deaths, especially with celebrity deaths? Like every time.
Actually, in his like memoir that he came out with, he said 2 weeks before he got on Friends, he said he sold his soul to the devil.
Right, and I seen that interview.
You see that? Yeah.
His words, not exact words, but kind of paraphrasing was, he says that he was kind of down, no job or anything, and he prayed to God, he said, and he asked God to make him famous, and God can do anything he wants to him. And he said 2 weeks after that, he got Friends and then became famous.
Yeah.
But also he was then when that started, he started getting hooked on drugs and
stuff.
alcohol and whatnot. And he said he was not sober through the whole Friends thing.
Like, he can know, it's noticeable. Like, I think it was like the second or third season. It, like, he said he didn't even like watching it.
Yeah.
Because he looked like just sickly. And like, I remember one of the seasons, like, it was really noticeable. And he said he doesn't even like watching those.
And then to me, I look back and like, to me, it's like, he doesn't look sickly to me, because it's like, it's just that he's that image. You know what I mean?
It wasn't until I actually like heard him talk about that where I noticed it, like on one season, that I was just like, he looked way different. Like, his eyes looked different, and just the way he kind of talked was a lot different.
Right.
But it was like immediately after that, he looked a little more healthy.
Yeah.
It looked like he actually started kind of gaining that back.
And then before his passing, they said he was pretty healthy, wasn't relapsing, didn't show any signs of relapsing. His death is kind of, to the media standpoint, it's like you can't trust the media. But they say that there's no really correlation to foul play. Police are saying that. And I don't know, you just can't believe what the media says.
But like, there was like, in this whole conspiracy like theory about around his death, they were saying that like he would put out a warning or something, like if he was going to pass away, and he was going to use Batman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was if you read into it, he was going to be working on something that had to do with that, I think. And I don't know if he was writing something, or he was going to be like working on some new show that had to do with Batman. But he started putting out a lot of Batman imagery and stuff on his socials.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Yeah, just kind of randomly throwing up Batman signs and stuff like that, or him with a picture with Adam West, or what was he call himself, Matman?
Yeah, Matman
or something. There's something behind that, you said?
Yeah, I was waiting for a text to come in so I can get into that. I know there was some sort of correlation between the words Matman and numerology. There was people that were in the numerology kind of went over that.
Yeah.
And I believe one of them was referencing, one of them was bargaining. They made a bargain. The other one was drowning, because he drowned.
Yeah.
Matman has a direct correlation with that. There was another one tied in there somewhere. But he was mentioned on that list, the flight logs with Epstein.
Yeah.
And their thing was maybe he made some sort of bargain, and he was trying to point to part of that bargain was him drowning. Like they were going to actually go and kill him.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing like that that they said that like Ellen DeGeneres was kind of warning someone about.
Yeah.
And had a shirt underneath her shirt that you can read it. And yeah, there's like a whole thing with that.
There's so much weird stuff. I mean,
I know, it gets weird. Like when you get into it, I see how people fall down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Like there's like so many coincidences, like things line up way too well. And this whole thing with Doja Cat is she posted something on her her TikTok. Like, was it a week before he died? Before Matthew Perry passed away?
Yeah, I think so.
And then after he passed away, that was the only video on her TikTok, and it was her in her whole demon, look, where she has like literally looks like a demon, and she's on that couch that they have in the beginning of every Friends episode.
Yeah,
and it's weird because all it does is just pan towards her playing that Friends song.
it's so creepy.
It is. Like when I looked at it, it was creepy. Like I had no idea about this till Alethea showed me it, and it creeped me out.
It gives you that feeling.
Like, I was like, oh my god, like this is ugly. Like why would you do that? Even if like I saw this thing like celebrities are having way too much fun with celebrity deaths and stuff like that. But the creepy thing was that she put that out a week before he passed away.
Right.
And if you look at the the Friends logo, like I mean this shirt. I wasn't planning on wearing this shirt. I grabbed the black shirt that I had hanging up and I put it on. And I noticed that when I came in, when Dolores pointed it out, I was like, oh, I gotta wear I'm wearing a horror icon shirt that says Friends. But if you look at the logo, it has, a letter, a colored dot, another letter, a colored dot. And on the one that Doja Cat posted, it says demon.
Right.
And it's the first dot is gone. So they're saying like maybe that's kind of her saying that one of them is going to be
one of the
taken
friends
out.
is going to be taken out. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's 6 of them.
6 of the friends.
Yeah.
Interesting. I
There's
didn't
6
notice
dots.
that.
Yeah.
2 boys,
And
2
it-
girls.
And it had to do with the color umbrellas that they were holding.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird.
Did you find that? Mm-mm. Yeah, I just found that yesterday, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I've been so busy, I didn't even get a chance to look into this. So I was up really late last night looking into this stuff and like creepy ghost videos of myself.
I
Just
didn't-
creeping myself out, man.
I didn't
Is
get
that
a
why you're
chance.
grumpy?
No.
I know. As soon as the camera goes off, Mark's like, "Why did you say that?"
But it like, I mean, I was like, man, I hated like the whole thing around this because I'm a big fan, of Matthew Perry.
Yeah, he's one of
Like,
my top-
Growing up,
one of my
that's
favorites.
like we
And that show is like our comfort show.
I know it is. It's like our comfort show. I mean, growing up, like I remember watching the new episodes with Mom all the time, and it's still one of my favorite ones to watch. And so, like when this whole thing came out, I was like, man, why'd they have to ruin that?
Man, I know.
But yeah, that's like really what really bugged me about it. But that whole thing with him, and like I don't know if it was like supposed to be. They're trying to say it was like a warning that she was warning him, and then there's a whole other theory. Do you have anything you wanted to? that you
Okay,
looked
so
up? I saw your
Read-
notes.
I know.
I know. Read this and tell me what you think about that. What does that mean?
Man value in geometry is 302. Type in a word or number in e.g. Oh. Man in numerology is God, devil. 666.
Mm-hmm.
101 or 666. Is 101 God and 666 the devil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So MATT is wow. That's weird.
So read that. Try to put that together. What's the thought?
I don't know what you were talking about. That he asked God
Right.
to make him famous,
Yeah.
but then this one kind of ties them both together
Yeah. God and
as he was.
the devil.
Yeah, that is weird.
I'll put that on the screen so you guys can see this. And if you guys are listening on podcasting platforms, go to Spotify, Facebook, or our website, and you'll be able to see this video version of this. And I think this is going to be a more visual podcast. But so yeah, let's get into your notes, Dolores. just to say, I was trying to look for things on Doja Cat, couldn't find anything like for myself. Like I was on YouTube and researching on the web like I usually do. Couldn't find anything, and then Alethea told me it's mostly on TikTok.
Yeah. It is.
And I was like, today, I was like, damn it.
Yeah, there's like another
I
theory, and there's like something else I wanted to say, but I don't want to take over it because she has notes, and I want to know what she has.
Yeah, and I did do some research in because we always go that route anyways. Because she does have some demonic elements, so I did some demonology research and that tie-in with certain imagery and whatnot. So
Yeah.
And whatnot. That's your new... And things of that nature.
my new crutch.
I caught that. I caught onto that your last video. So
like
I was
what he
like, he's
says.
been saying whatnot a lot.
That's what he says when he doesn't know.
You
what to
push
say.
me to be better. I'm down here. You push me to be better.
You look at me before you say it and you stop yourself. I'm like, Okay, well, everyone was talking about her 27th birthday and remember they have a thing
27
with,
Club.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And basically her birthday was inspired by that, is it Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut?
Oh yeah.
Illuminati inspired.
do with
Yeah, it's an
Illuminati.
Illuminati
Okay.
inspired party. And then it said, basically that movie is about cult rituals and it gathers rich and powerful people to basically there's slaves and it says many rich people were dressed as slaves when they went to her party.
Whoa.
And then when they brought out her cake, it had a Masonic symbol on it and then the all-seeing eye on it.
Interesting.
And even the way she was dressed, and they said one of her the embarrassment ritual, when she showed up,
yeah.
she revealed her boob, and everyone said that was on purpose, because even in that movie that has something to do with that, where they reveal themselves in that
Yeah.
way, it's always I think a priest or something that does that. But yeah, she did that, and everyone was like, "Oh, that was on purpose," and they like kind of put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone like
That's
got real.
weird.
Yeah, everyone got real creeped out, and then in her Rule song, in that one, she's like a reptilian. In that one, if you see her eyes,
Yeah.
it has like those slits in her eyes. Oh. But yeah, like I don't know. There's another one like the Dazed magazine. Did you see that her teeth are all blacked out?
Yeah.
And then they said there's like a cross in the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I remember looking up those videos and I got creeped out because she looked real creepy. But everyone was like telling her like, oh yeah, like she's turning into to be a part of the Illuminati. And she got to the point where she got annoyed and she started like trolling her fans. But everyone's like, I don't think she's trolling us anymore. Like I think she's a part of
Like
it.
she's actually doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So you like they probably thought maybe she's just doing that like to kind of run with it.
Because there's one video where she keeps saying like, oh yeah, I'm just chilling, and then she like it cuts to her saying Illuminati, Illuminati, and then like it just cuts off, and
That's so weird.
then she's like back to sitting in that position like I'm just chilling, and like I was
think I
like,
did
what
see that
the
video.
hell?
The whole Illuminati thing is kind of what I went at. I was researching. I found the official website, if it's actually the official website, but it does have that video on there that I found and sent to you.
Yeah.
And this guy's a famous actor or something, right?
Who?
That dude in the video.
I didn't even get a chance to watch
I guess
it.
he has a name, but
Obviously.
I mean like a well-known name. I looked him up, and
Well,
apparently he looks like a lot like Biden
what? Really?
now. Yeah, and they think that maybe they're using that dude here and there, where he can just the way he walks. But yeah, the Illuminati thing about the different symbology they use inside of their music videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we all know this. Everybody knows that they just don't really care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Unless you're a big conspiracy theorist or you want to get into that.
Yeah.
But it's a big rabbit hole to fall down. Once
It
you,
is.
once you start looking into all that stuff.
Yeah, I had looked into that stuff a lot because like it's creepy. Like they talk about like how everything's so like everybody's so desensitized by everything. And if you look back on like all these old interviews of like actors, musicians, people like that, they talk about how dark Hollywood really is and the industry really is. They talk about like they had to sell their souls. Or even Mel Gibson told a story about when he first went to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was on top of this building and he said the lights were literally written in the 666.
And that was with
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's where he first met Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And he said it was so creepy because he said this guy was just staring at him. And I think he said like it seemed like a blink of an eye, and then he was like right there. And he said he just creeped him out.
He said when he first met him, it was unsettling because they were in this big party.
Mm.
And he's supposed to meet him at this party, and he says he sees him walk in, and it's almost like he's floating
Yeah.
inside of the thing, inside of the crowd.
Maybe he can do that walk. Remember I showed you that
Yeah,
video?
yeah. But,
That girl looks like she's floating.
yeah, but he said he was a dancer, so he's kind of light on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
But he said they just got into starting to talk about like medieval tortures and whatnot, and they're swapping
said it was
torture
really weird.
stories. Yeah, it was odd. That was a cool story. I'll have to
Yeah.
put that in this right here.
Christopher Walken, first time I ever did a casting session in America,
Yeah.
terrified me.
Me too.
I mean, fucking hell! I came to meet the guy. They said, "Oh, he's flying in from God knows where." 500
yeah, but he didn't
miles.
need a plane, right? Yeah, it's like
He didn't need a plane. He came in. He was doing all the kind of Scorsese stuff, and I said, "Have you had a chance to read the script?" And he looked at me and he said, "Do you like my face?" And I went, "Yes." And he said, "Well, that's fucking great. Because if you don't, get De Niro. Fuck you, I'm out of here." And stood up and walked out. And everyone said, "Well, that I think was quite a good meeting."
no. He came to see me on a rooftop in New York. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And he said, "Sure." And he floated in sideways through a crowd of people. He was wearing black. And it was like one of those old vampire movies where they don't walk but they glide. And he was a dancer, you know, so he has he's very graceful.
Yeah.
And he moved sideways and he just sat down in a chair next to me. And it kind of frightened me. And he's a very smart guy. And we started talking, and I didn't, say much of anything about reading the script, nothing. I just started talking about the Middle Ages, and he began to talk tortures. and we swapped tortures because I'd read this book on torture, and I tried to recall some of the most heinous things I'd ever read in this book, and he was like, oh, and he'd try and top it, and it got, and my assistant was there, and he left because he couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
The air had turned cold, and then he left, and I wanted to leave, and because I knew that I didn't want to work with him,
Yeah.
and he was getting scary.
Yeah.
And then I turned around, and it was on top of the Peninsula Hotel. I turned around to avoid his steady gaze at one point, and I was looking at a building with the top of the sixes on it. So there was a huge illuminated triple six in red.
Yeah.
And I went from that to that to that, and he started smiling. Yeah. And I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist, you know?
And whatnot.
Yeah, and
I
whatnot.
said it again.
But yeah, Mel Gibson even talks about that, like when he first came to Hollywood and how dark the industry is and all that, and it just kind of creeped him out, I guess. So he said you got to be real careful. And looking into all those, those old documentaries about them, people talking about how they sold their souls for the devil and stuff like that, and how they end up passing away. Like a lot of them that actually passed away. Like hearing the stories on how they passed away, it was like tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all the notes you have?
No, she has more.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Come on, dig it out.
I don't know. Did you guys even watch her music videos? Like her most recent ones?
I just watched the one, Demons.
I mean, I saw like
the
a clip,
Demons,
but-
that one's the...
Yeah, because that's the one where she turns into the demon, right? That's the one I just watched. I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I had to wash myself out with freaking Slipknot. But she does reference a whole lot of horror movies in that music video. I think The Shining is one. She referenced, which would be another Stanley Kubrick kind of thing. She references Poltergeist. She references some other movie. Anyways, there's these different scenes that she shoots, and she's referencing a lot of horror movies.
And I think like the Conjuring movie, she references that because it's, what's her name? The one who plays Wednesday. Original Wednesday.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, she's on there.
Christina
Yeah.
Ricci.
Yeah, she's on there.
Oh, okay.
It's her house she's like attached to.
And
Weird.
It's like her and her kids, and their kids are like watching TV, and that's where like the poltergeist thing plays in.
And it does open
weird.
with a scene of her experiencing sleep paralysis. And we just did that podcast.
We just covered that.
Yeah, so it's her crawling on the ceiling, and what's her name's inside of the bed.
What's her name?
Wednesday. And she's having sleep paralysis, and Doja Cat's the demon.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I gotta see that. That's
Yeah, and
weird.
like later on in the video, like in the kitchen, the cabinets are going crazy, and like all the stuff in the kitchen are like moving, and there's like 3 other demons that show up in there, I think.
It's
And
weird.
they look exactly like how Doja Cat is in that getup.
Yuck. I hated that the way it looked. Like
I know.
just seeing her on that couch and like everything about it just creeped me the hell out.
I mean, some people are saying like maybe she's just kind of playing into that, and I did find a whole lot of videos on maybe she's faking you and you're just believing it, that she sold her soul and she's going into Illuminati.
But why would she
Like
go
she's
as far?
trolling.
But the whole thing about the Matthew Perry thing and that connection kind of just set it in. Like maybe there is something to that story.
Yeah, because that's really dark. That's like
And she left it up.
tasteless to do something like
Yeah.
that. If it was just to do something like that.
Right. And they said that she did go and delete all of her TikToks and put that video up.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went and looked it up, that's the only one on her TikTok.
Disgusting.
Is it still like that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I looked it up and it's still
I
like
just
that.
can't.
It just creeps me out.
I
man.
think about it and I was like, get the chills.
What else do you got?
But that was like most of it. But even in her that Paint the Town Red one, that one's real dark too. Did you see that one?
I saw part of it, yeah. Like her imagery in it.
Yeah.
It's
And there's like that one guy who's dressed like a demon as well, but he's like missing one horn. I was like, what the fuck?
Freaking open season.
I know.
But I also saw another theory that they're saying like she is really like a demonic entity, and that the reason why she put that out was like kind of showing like almost like she's like a hellhound. She was the one that actually
Right.
takes them, comes in like
You better reference Alethea here because she'll be like, I told him about that.
yeah, she did. I think that's where I heard it from.
Yeah.
was from her,
I
but like
think-
that she's some kind of demon that actually comes and collects on the people that actually sold their souls to the
Right.
devil.
Even if it's even if her herself isn't the demon, maybe there's something influencing her or attached to her.
Yeah, putting that out there.
Right. Because the way demons work is they don't manifest as an actual person. They can't yet.
Actual being.
Yeah, the only one that is able to manifest that way is the devil himself, Satan, and he's only able to be in one place at once. He's not omnipresent. The only time that I think he's the only one that, what the heck else that happened? The only angel to ever possess a person is in the Bible, and it was Satan.
Yeah.
He possessed somebody.
But what gets me about that, like every time you talk about that, is I always remember a story that Mary Kay Baxter told us.
Right.
Or were you there when she told us that?
Uh-uh.
She said that when she was in hell, she said that she saw the devil, and she said there was like a throne there, and these two women actually came walking up to him, and she recognized those women, and she said those two women were actually like she saw them in church before.
Oh, funny.
So that's where it kind of like really
Funny.
gets me, because she said the devil actually kind of threatened them. If they didn't do what they were supposed to do, he would turn them back into their true form.
Oh, funny.
And when he said that, they literally dropped, and they were a pile of snakes.
Freaking
Weird.
Hercules to the max.
Yeah. So I was like, when she told me about that, I was like, man, that is ugly.
Pain and panic.
And she said they were
Yeah.
just like two piles of snakes just going around each other.
Because they can have influence. They can inhabit a body, and I believe they can probably inhabit the body to the point of where the person has no control. That's probably
So
possible.
you think that she was seeing that the people that they were inhabiting?
Probably.
Because that's kind of, that's like
But
when she told
you
me that story,
never-
I was just like, that was like kind of mind blowing.
Right, but I learn stuff every day. I still study on demons, the way they work. I study Bible regularly about the way things work always interests me. It's not always just the whole stories and everything. It's just the way the Bible presents it is they present a story, but within that story you kind of see the behind the curtain of how things work.
Yeah.
How do miracles happen? What's the protocol, I guess, in the spiritual to have a miracle? What's the protocol in the spiritual to have a possession?
Yeah.
And it's interesting to look into. That's what always fascinated me about looking into that. So every time I read a story, I'm always looking for the reference to something else, and then trying to find what's the whole, like 1, 2, and 3. How does that work?
There was one thing that I always hear, like, you know, the stories, like all the theories and stuff that always get me is from other celebrities.
Yeah.
So when you hear a celebrity talk about something, that's the one like that always kind of make me kind of like look at things differently. And I don't know if you guys found that one, but Anthony Bourdain.
No.
You didn't see that one?
I loved that dude though.
He put on his Twitter that during the commercial breaks and stuff, he said that the cast of Friends would chant "Hail Satan."
What?
Yeah. So I was like, kind of didn't know how to take that, because I was like, man, that's that. I don't want to believe that, because I freaking love this show, you know.
Right.
And it's just like when other celebrities talk about weird stuff like that, it kind of makes you think, why the hell would they say that? You know what I mean?
And the number 6, I mean, the number 6 itself doesn't have a really demonic tie. The number 666 does. The number 3 does. The number 6 is actually
Alone isn't.
Right. That number 6 is actually a number attributed to God. He created man on the 6th day, 5th day, 6th day, something like that. 6 has
the 6th,
Is it the 6th? Yeah, it has nothing to do with
and on the 7th he rested.
right. It has nothing to do with satanic things, but when it's repeated in 3s, then it does have some ties with demonology and whatnot. So it's like, don't think that all 6 characters are like a whole meaning. It's like,
like
it doesn't go that way.
Just the way people like start like using like that stuff to correlate with like demonic stuff, like even like an upside down cross actually isn't demonic.
Yeah, it's Paul.
Yeah, he wanted to be crucified upside down because he didn't think he was worthy to be crucified like Jesus.
Right.
And that's where the upside down cross came from.
Yeah.
But people kind of attribute that to Antichrist, because it's the opposite of the cross. But if you actually look up an actual satanic cross, it's nothing like that
it's
at
like
all.
2. It's actually 2.
3.
3 arms. 2. They cut 2 and 3. Some of them have the loop on top, things
Yeah.
like that, or the cross going in the middle and then the loop, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
People just think they're edgy wearing upside down crosses.
I know. I remember somebody posted some stickers on their water bottle, and look at my new stickers. I'm not gonna say who it was, and I saw a bunch of them kind of turning it, and I was like, why the hell do you got a satanic cross on your water bottle?
Yeah.
The person didn't know it was a satanic cross.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
It came in a bundle of stickers that they
it's
got.
really easily
Scary.
it's really easy
I
to
know.
slip into those things. And even what the hell was I just gonna say? Paul upside down cross.
Is he trying to backtrack?
I'm trying to backtrack the best I can, and I can't. I don't know. I lost it.
But yeah, like I hate, like, sometimes it ruins things for you. Like when you look into stuff like this, because you look into like when I watch movies and stuff, like, oh man, I love that actor. And then you find out things about that actor and stuff like that. And then it kind of, every time you see him, then you kind of start remembering that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore it. It is.
I really wish I just remembered what I was about to say. It haunts me. I'm not even kidding you.
He's going to remember
When I can't get a thought through,
Just steam going.
I get quiet and I try to think about it. And I'm like, what the hell? Where did it go? It just bothers me. And then, yeah.
Well, anyway. No, did you hear? I don't know if you've seen that on TikTok. They're talking about a young actress. I don't want to say the name because I might get it wrong. But they said on her birthday party, she was inviting everyone to her house. And then she said she also rented out the house next to hers and kind of connected it for that party, I believe. And this girl and her friends went. I think there was like a group of them, but they all went to go in there, and they said that they seen a bunch of people leaving, saying like, don't go in there, like it's bullshit, like this party's satanic, and like they're doing rituals and stuff in there, and like don't go in there. And then they get up to the door and they have them signing like waivers to get in. And then this girl said she got scared and she didn't go in, but her friends that did, a bunch of stuff like after that party for like 6 months, they had a bunch of stuff happening to them, or like people were dying around them, and one of them even passed away.
Oh,
Wow.
geez. I even saw another one like that where I think it was a rapper. She's blonde and she's a younger girl, but it was at Bella Thorne's, one of Bella Thorne's parties.
Oh, I just remembered.
Bella Thorne? You just kidding?
That's
I
what
was
triggered it.
I was listening to you, and I was also thinking back.
I knew it. That's why I was looking at him.
Yeah, that is odd though. Oh, do I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it's like these different symbols. People always think they have like an esoteric kind of vibe behind them, like they have a more hidden meaning than they are, and some of them do. People take those things and they kind of twist them. Just like Hitler used the swastika in a different way. I think in Israel it resembled peace or something like that, and he took that and put it on its side, and then it
Use
made
that
this
for a symbol of
whole
hate.
different meaning. Yeah, but even Moses was attributed to the serpent. That was his sign.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Bible talks about that was Moses' one of his profound miracles was also splitting the Red Sea, but also he turned his staff into a serpent, and that was attributed to him later on in Scripture that was his sign. And there was this, I think he was like a scholar. He was trying to find where Moses was buried, and it talks about God took him, so they couldn't find him.
Body.
But his staff was left behind, and they believe they found his staff.
wow.
And it was actually in the Valley of the Kings, and he would have been buried there because he was into the family, like he was taken in. And they found this he was kind of off in the distance inside of the Valley of the Kings, so there's actual real pharaohs buried around him, and then he's kind of off in this hill part, and where they found his staff, the mound, it's like a mound in the shape of a serpent.
Oh wow!
It goes up, and then under there, because this guy followed biblical reference to try to find where Moses was actually. Actually, he was buried by God, right?
You're the one coming up with this, dude. You're the one telling me right now.
Anyways, but
he's asking me. I'm like, what?
he was buried by God. What's it? Anyways, but his body wasn't there. But they
He's
found
like, how well do you study your Bible?
they found his staff, and it was Tutmosis, and in Egyptian, that's actual him, and it referenced him as being a butler because he wasn't. His staff was black, by the way. Really cool thing to look at.
That is cool.
And it had Tutmosis on it, and it had a serpent, I think. And they were like, why is he referenced as a butler? And it's because he wasn't actually part of the Egyptian family, and he was taken into the
that's right.
the whole story.
Yeah.
So they gave him an actual
Prince
burial.
of Egypt playing in my head.
But they actually gave him an actual king's burial, sort of like, because they buried him within the Valley of the Kings. It's just he didn't have all the jewels and stuff. It was great. Yeah, it's cool. We were interrupted by a train. It just sounded stupid.
I know, it sounded like a train from hell. Like for a second, I literally thought the rapture was happening, man.
Still my joke. Whatever.
I know. I
You know, Marcus does it so much.
Because I got up and I was like, the rapture's happening.
That's how the train sounded.
It did.
What you mean? I'm Melvin, dude. I still had the voice on. Did you hear that?
He's still trying to talk about. Alrighty, let's get back into it.
Okay, so
Stupid.
I just went on the whole freaking rant about the science. It's just symbols kind of are. I'm looking more into symbology too, and I think that's my next leap. I'm always trying to I'm always reading like biblical things about like demons and stuff, or like healings and how those happen and whatnot. Symbology, numbers, and stones. I want to look into those.
The ugly thing is, like, you just reminded me of something. There's like a whole thing about that in everything, like worldwide.
Yeah.
About how when you're talking about like the end of days, stuff like that, you'll see things everywhere. Like the devil will try to put himself in everything. Mm-hmm. Like even the World Wide Web, www. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I forgot what it is. The www is 666.
Whoa.
Even in your barcodes on the things that you buy, and the barcodes, it's written in there.
www.fallenhour.com, by the way.
You're such a dumbass. But that's like in everything. Even like the thing that kind of like, I found a video. It's actually Pitbull. He was talking about that. He said he's not. He said I'm not religious, but he said that he thinks that kind of stuff is really happening. He said that like even your phones. He said look at your phone, your iPhone. Mm-hmm. He was talking about the symbolism in that, like iPhones and stuff. He's talking about like the apple with the bite taken out of it, having to do with like Adam and Eve,
which really doesn't have anything to do with Adam and Eve, but the apple.
I'm not religious, man, but one of the stories out of the Bible, one of the most famous stories is what? It's Adam and Eve. What did Eve bite? The apple? She bit the apple. Look at the logo on your fucking phones. It's a bitten apple. So therefore, everybody biting that bitch right now.
You know what I said on the rhyme? I said, most people holding their phones, two hands holding your phone, it's like you pray to it.
Yeah.
Think about it, like that's
True.
what you're actually doing. You're actually sitting there and praying to this device.
It's a cell phone, baby. It's a cell phone for a reason. You're prisoner to the phone. You're in a cell.
You know why it's worse than dope? Because at some point on dope or on any other substance abuse, you actually realize that you're hitting rock bottom. You will never realize you're hitting rock bottom on
But they
social
said
media.
in Social Dilemma, he had a great line. It says, how are you going to know the Matrix if you don't know you're in the Matrix?
Nah, and the other great line.
And the users.
The users.
Say it.
Nah, he said only two industries that call their customers users is software
Drugs?
companies and drug dealers.
Illegal drugs. We live in a world of criticizing thinkers. I come from a world of being a critical thinker. I like to listen. I like to look at shit, break it down, and then so when someone get to talking shit, you go, okay, that's cool. I appreciate that, and I acknowledge your opinion. But what about this?
But if you look into look into that stuff, you'll actually kind of start falling down that rabbit hole. Even the whole
Chill out.
Relax.
They're talking about like it's like the all-seeing eye.
Right.
Yeah, there's like this whole get serious now, man.
It's so like
Okay, yeah. Threw everything off.
right.
That sounded so
Just
weird,
your
man.
voice got me.
I know.
But yeah, he went on this whole deal on some podcast talking about it. Are you losing it now?
I think it's just the fact that you're getting really excited and we're
I'm
like,
tired. I go to bed at like 9.
I know, like getting excited about like, oh, let me tell you this, and it's has to ruin it. Don't pump your brakes there, kid.
I know, but when he gets excited, we just look
I
at
know.
each other.
You can't get a word in when he starts talking.
Look at the non-existent camera.
I know.
no.
This time there's a real camera.
I tell Dolores all the
I know.
time when her and Alethea get together, Alethea is her non-existent camera. It's just Alethea now because she's always like,
I know. She's standing there.
due to the camera.
No.
Anyways, yeah, the apple.
Yeah, but he talks about that. Like, he went on this whole deal about it. How that was like, there's a lot of symbolism in that, like demonic symbolism, satanic symbolism. And he was talking about how like it's kind of almost like it's like the all-seeing eye,
Right.
Like the name of the iPhone, and they were saying like it's always listening to everything you're saying. That's how you get all those ads and all that. Like maybe they be listening to more stuff like that. And where was I going with this?
I don't know, but you got really excited.
Even the name Siri. So the name Siri backwards is Iris.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's you're talking about how the devil's trying to include himself more into
Everything in the world. Yeah.
Right. The reason I say about the apple is just because the Bible doesn't really actually say apple. It's just the fruit.
I
Yeah,
know.
fruit.
But it looked like an
everybody
apple
sees,
on year 1. Just kidding.
But every painting, like all these old paintings and everything, it's always an apple.
Right. I'm sure
So
some of the
they
new
kinda use
Bibles
that as a symbol.
some of the new Bibles probably say that, but it's like, come on.
Yeah,
We're all sitting there in church.
it's the forbidden fruit is what it was.
Someone's preaching about Adam and Eve, and you're all like,
Walk up to the mic.
grab the preacher's microphone.
There's more. Like there's a lot more about it. Like I found this video. I was trying to find it while you guys were talking earlier, but I couldn't find it. But even like all these like Nickelodeon and stuff like that, if you look into it, like they break them down in a different language, and it's all like satanic.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, did you hear Dora the Explorer's theme song backwards?
No.
Ooh, that's
When it says Dora the Explorer, it says Hail Satan.
That is ugly.
I
I didn't find that one.
I did
It's
want to.
eerie.
But that's what I mean, like stuff like that, even in child's like cartoons and things. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting.
I did really want to get into doing a series on that where we just go over some songs and play them backwards and see how what happens.
Oh my
God.
god, those used to bother me when we watched
know.
those. I'd get creeped out listening to the actual song.
Yeah, I remember we did that before the AC/DC, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Hey, no stairway.
Oh yeah, like the stairway, like that Stairway to Heaven. That one, reverse was freaking creepy.
Remember Uncle Francis's story on that?
Was that with Johnny?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a creepy story. What are you looking at now?
Oh, I had because I mean
It's just a drawing.
The doodles.
it's a drawing of SpongeBob. But we always go to that route, and I think it's worth mentioning in this podcast and actually talking about scriptures and things like that, or ancient writing got us up there with philosophy, because people actually listen to that and they like that input. And I'm always tying that in with biblical, because it makes more sense to me. You know what I mean? Because it's once you actually go through these, like the scriptures and whatnot, you actually see a lot of ties in with certain things. And it's one of the oldest surviving books, if not the oldest surviving book, that's survived thousands of years. And I think it's worth giving credit to. But there's a whole thing about the devil himself trying to include himself into everything. And I was looking at, because he was a worship angel, he was a cherub, and he was also an archangel. He was the only angel, and I mentioned this before in the podcast, the only angel with 2 positions in heaven.
Yeah.
And the Bible references, I think, in Ezekiel or what the hell was it? Ezekiel. It talks about he was able to walk on the fiery stones of fire, and then later on in Isaiah it referenced that those stones of fire were actually in front of God's throne.
Yeah.
So he was actually he was one of the only angels, and he was the most ranking angel in heaven.
Yeah.
And there's different translations now. This is why I'm saying the translations with the Apple and whatnot, it's probably now they probably put that in there. But in earlier translations, before it was translated into Latin, is the Lucifer's actual name in the Hebrew was Halel. And that does also say he was the light bringer, things like that. And then it was translated into Latin and into Lucifer. But he was a worship angel, and his body was actually made of musical instruments.
Yeah.
And that was his job, was to bring worship to God. And he was also the choir director, the heavenly choir. He had his own angels he was ruling over. And it talks about these angels being, I guess, persuaded into rebelling against God. And it's like, when you're living today, is how easy do you think that he can persuade you? Like, do you think you're not persuadable? Because he literally took angels and turned them into demons. He took them from heaven into hell, and he was
a third of the angels.
Right, he was able to persuade angels. So when you get into today's culture, it's like you kind of brush that side off. Like, even if you're not spiritual, there's always a spiritual aspect about you. I mean, there's probably people who are atheists who experience something like a spiritual, something spiritual happened to them.
Yeah.
Had to have. It's just a part of life.
Yeah, like that's, I don't know, like that's even like a big mood. Like they can say that's like kind of a way of like changing your mood, like persuading your mood and stuff like that as music.
Right.
And that was his thing.
Right. And
it was music.
And God has his own, and those are the cherubs, as their worship angels. So God actually has these angels around his throne worshiping him.
Yeah.
And the thing about them is they have revelations constantly about God himself. And Lucifer was an archangel, and archangels they deal with revelation also in Israel, because I think he was Gabriel. Was it Gabriel or Michael? That went to Mary and told her about her God's plan for her. So they deal with revelation also, and Satan, because he was an archangel, he would also have to deal with revelation, because that was his office, and he was also the worship angel. So he was not only a warrior angel, but he dealt with revelation, and he dealt with music. He fell, and we talked about other texts too, like the Book of Enoch, and they brought different things to earth. Music being one of the ways to communicate with God is worship. Not music itself, but worship. And so he understands that using music, the music industry, or musical elements can influence you in a way that's spiritual. You go to a concert and you experience all that energy in a room.
Yeah.
It's like there's something going on. You know what I mean? Music has power behind it.
You know what's funny is I think Uncle Francis actually had a story like that, where he went to a concert. I have to ask him about it, because like the way I remember it was he's saying that he went to this concert and he kind of felt like out of place, like he shouldn't be here.
Right.
And he said like everybody like stopped and literally all turned around and like looked at him in the middle of the concert. Yeah. I remember him telling me a story like
Who
that.
looked at him?
Everybody in the concert.
Strange.
And I was like, wow, that's kind of like.
No, that's
and also,
creepy.
Satan also dealt with protecting the throne.
Yeah.
He was a protector of it. Yeah.
I have to ask him about that again.
It just gets quiet. You hear one guitar string turn.
I know.
Yeah, I'll look over.
But yeah, like people like, oh, like it's like, oh, it's like it's so far fetched, you know, like that these musicians
and it's so clever
and stuff like that. But it is.
Yeah.
That is literally his thing is music.
Right.
Like that'd be one of his like main tools.
Yeah.
But that's your thing.
Well, that's your thing, Satan.
But yeah, I was like, so that's what I was thought. Like, there was even a time where I was like really in like studying the Bible and stuff like that, and I didn't even listen to like music that whole time. Like, I didn't even want to listen to it because I felt like there's something about it I didn't like. You know, like a lot of the musicians and stuff I used to listen to, I stopped listening to them for a long time. Like, I didn't even listen to any music, actually. Even when I drove anywhere, I didn't have the music
driving
on.
in the quiet.
Yeah, I was just listening to myself breathe.
I know. People always have that thing, though, is like, why would God allow something like that to happen? Why would he allow certain things on earth to happen?
That's like always the main question.
Yeah, and it's like, it goes back to the story of Adam and Eve. And so Adam was never birthed. He was just made a man right away, and he was able to name animals and whatnot. Jesus was actually born of a woman and born as man.
Yeah.
Adam was made, but the devil Satan has this way of separating you from God himself, putting a wall there. And the only way he can't actually do it is he can put the wall there because you basically brought him in the room. And what with your, I guess, sins, like they talk about like flesh and things. And that's because of Adam and Eve. We live in a fallen world, and certain things happen. Like, you can't attribute Satan to everything. Like, if you get sick or you trip and fall or something, I don't know. You can't just always say it's sin, because you do live in a. Yeah, I'm fallen and I can't.
Damn you, Satan!
I know, right? And it's I think it's giving.
Alarm don't go off.
I know. And it's
Satan's at it again.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Damn you, Satan. But we live in a fallen world, and there are certain things that happen that just aren't spiritual. Not everything is attributed to the Satan himself, and I think you doing that is giving him more of like a undue attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In your life. But yeah, I also found some scriptures on how angels can harm you. But if you guys want to hear that, I can say it. But yeah, so Doja Cat.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
Me, stupid.
I'll have to find all those videos and stuff I found, though, of all like the symbolism and everything, like in like movies, TV, logos, all that, because it is like, when you really look into that, it's insane.
Right.
And
I think that would tie into this a little bit. Is I'll just mention it because I know people are probably gonna be like, "What is he talking about? Angels or?"
And when you look into like what we're talking about, looking
I
at
don't
like,
think anyone's thinking that.
I know, but in my mind, I'm like, I didn't even talk about it. But in Judges, it talks about if you provoke him, he's talking about an angel, and it's God talking to him, that he'll slay you. So if you provoke an angel, it can actually bring you harm. Interesting, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it is.
Notes are gone. Anyways, you can buy these on www.fallenhour.com.
I'm just gonna write "and whatnot" real big on that paper.
I'll do it myself, so you don't do it.
And things of that nature.
But yeah, this whole Doja Cat thing, it doesn't just stop there. I mean, it's just one of the ones that are like more recent.
It's like, yeah, the most trending right now.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, I see all these videos, like these people even like tearing that down because they're like, you're crazy, you know, for like believing that or even thinking that.
Yeah.
But it's you can't, you know, it's strange. It is. Like, the whole thing about it is strange.
Right. And you live in a world where people are like, oh, you don't believe in God.
Yeah.
God didn't make the planet, or God didn't make us, or God this, God that. And it's like, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But then again, you have this whole music industry talking about Satan and the devil and demons and whatnot.
Yeah.
And people like that. And then on the other hand, they're like, God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Why would they point to that? Why aren't they looking into other religions and their deities and whatnot and trying to portray
But
those?
it's always just this one.
Right. It's always the devil, Satan.
Yeah. There's like, when I was talking about this whole conspiracy theory with Doja Cat and the whole conspiracy theory with Matthew Perry, it is weird. It's like one of the more strange ones. It's like one of the more, I don't want to say out there, but it's like the coincidental deal of it. It's weird. And I remember this one comedian kind of bringing that up in like on his set, But the way he words it so perfectly. So it's, you know, it's funny, like the way he says it. But if you take out the tone of how he says it, he's absolutely right. Like he says, like, you know, I can't understand if, like, you don't believe any conspiracy theories, you know, like I can understand not believing them all, but you don't believe in any.
Right.
Like you really, like what he says is, do you really think the government's batting 1,000 like every time? And he goes on to say,
is that Pete Holmes?
No.
Okay, he talked about something like that.
Yeah, no, I can't remember his name, but man, he's funny. I like watching him. But it like makes you think. Like he even says, like, you know, the government is responsible for, you know, hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
And like the punchline of his joke, he says, like, you know, I'm a father and I'm only responsible for one son. And I lie to that motherfucker all the time.
Who the hell is it? I know that
But
one.
I was like, dude, like that's like, he's telling the truth.
Right.
Like how many conspiracy theories are proven fact?
Right. And
But this, I'm not saying this one's fact. I'm just saying how many were.
right.
So like people don't actually believe in conspiracy theories till they're actually true.
Right. Even the Vatican keeps secrets for years. There was Vatican archives that were, I just found this, I'm sure it was like a couple years ago, but Vatican archives talking about Pius, what the hell was it? Pius. It was during Hitler's reign, and there was connection between those two, the Pope and Hitler himself.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to protect the church, so he was trying, because he was getting close to his side of the country and whatnot. So the Pope makes this whole pact with him, and I think things ended before it actually got to where the church would be. But yeah, there's like these whole million of documents, I think millions of documents, I think, that were released, but nobody knew about that until 50 years later or so.
Yeah.
So there's secrets in government, there's secrets in, I'm sure, religion, and it's just like, where do you stand on those things? You know what I mean?
Like how many books were taken out of the Bible?
Right. And it astonishes me of how confused people get about biblical things with music and whatnot. Because I watch some of these conspiracy videos, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem right. But I'll go read about it myself, and I think that's what you should do. Is if you're
looking at it yourself,
right? Don't take all my crap. You know what I mean? Like, go and actually read and study it for yourself and see for yourself of what I'm talking about, and see
like draw up your own opinion,
own conclusion. Yeah. And it's like, you can't really trust what everybody says. It's just not possible. Like the media, it's like the whole, I think without Trump coming on board and saying fake news, I don't think anybody would have paid attention as much as they do now. And he proved that right.
Yeah.
Is that there's a whole conspiracy behind it. And even those, we talked about that.
I mean, like the ones he put out was like all the ones about him, though.
Yeah.
So that was fake news.
Yeah.
It's all
fake news. I can't do it, Trump.
Mark was almost there.
I know. Yeah. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm a little rusty.
You're pretty Trumpy.
You're just rusty in general.
You're pretty Trumpy.
You got a little Trumpy. You got a little jaundice in you.
Oh, Jesus.
Just kidding.
I know. But yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Dolores? What do you think?
He just takes it over the edge.
I have, dude. What do you
He always
think?
does that, and then he always ends up bleeping himself out because it's like, maybe that was a little too edgy.
Yeah, a little too far.
What do you think, Dolores?
I don't know. Just all that stuff really creeps me out every time I see videos, like people put them together.
I know, like when they actually start piecing them together and showing you
I was-
everything,
It's like
it
just
gets
so
weird.
in your face all the time,
know,
and it's
it
like
is.
nuts
And
that you miss it.
I think
I
it's
know.
there by the design. I mean, you come across like rock artists, you're like, all right, yeah. The rock is the devil. You know what I mean?
And like I remember even this person like brought this whole Doja Cat Matthew Perry conspiracy up, and then like brought up the Fall of Cabal. And if you look it up, like they're like saying, try looking it up on TikTok. You can't.
Really?
You can't. It's literally that hashtag is like blocked.
Wow.
You have to look it up on something else. And it's like starting to become like that with other social medias. So like in order to find it, you probably have to go like YouTube or something, but you can't even look it up on TikTok anymore.
Wow.
They put a
Weird.
stop to that. And that's what's fucking creepy.
That is creepy.
It's like trying to like look into that stuff now. It's like almost like they're trying to make it harder for you.
I think it's going to be much more harder to research things like that.
I know.
I mean, it's just
Like
gonna,
actually trying to find it now. It's going to be hard.
yeah, it's going to become impossible.
That's what's kind of getting scary about it. Is like you're not going to be. It's almost like they're taking away your another. It's almost like they're taking away your freedom of speech.
It is. I mean,
like we talked about that before.
Yeah, the social media freedom of speech. The only one going against that is Elon Musk with X.
Yeah,
and
it's weird calling
I
it that
can't
now,
call it that.
Right,
it's the twits.
Still Twitter.
It's the Twitter Peyton. So I just what the hell is that dude's name I was talking to you about on Scream?
You talking about which one?
The comedian dude.
Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, he was talking. When you listen, I was telling Marcus this is like when we see people's comments on like Fallen Hour and stuff. It just seems so crazy. You know what I mean? But it's actually there's a lot of fact behind those things. And it's like when we do the podcast, like I know a lot of this stuff sounds crazy out there, and it's you guys think it's a conspiracy podcast, but a lot of those conspiracies actually turn out to be true, like you were saying. But Jamie Kennedy talked about. You listen to that podcast, it's just some of the things he says are like nuts. You know what I mean? But they have some merit behind them. Like he does talk about real stuff that happened and whatnot. He talks about. There's two celebrities that just recently talked about it. There was one who was on Orange is the New Black, and there's Jamie Kennedy. I think he talked about it. I'm not sure, but he talks about the magic juice that you drink.
Oh, I seen that lady talking about that.
Yeah.
Said she was offered, she declined.
Yeah, and when I
it's like way up here.
Everybody's mentioning Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
And if you look at the entertainment industry at a whole, there's all these tie-ins with different things that happen, like conspiracies, like Pleasure Island inside of what the heck was it? Was it Peter Pan? No. Anyways, it's a fox, and this old other fox sitting there, and they're talking about this old guy sitting there talking about taking kids to Pleasure Island.
Okay.
One of these other comedians.
It's Pinocchio.
Is it Pinocchio? Okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's another comedian that
That
talks
used to
about
creep
it.
me out. That part.
I know.
Right. There's another comedian that talks about it, and
It's so sad.
it's a guy that sings like he actually does sing like rock, like he makes fun of AC/DC.
Oh, he's on Half Baked.
Yeah.
Man, he's like one of my favorites too.
Yeah, he talks about it, and he talks about that was actually
Brewer.
Brewer, yeah. And have you actually heard him sing?
Yeah,
that guy could sing.
know.
He's has like a rock vocals in him.
I mean, even in the Disney film in Pinocchio, it's unbelievable. The pub scene.
What are you talking about? The new one?
No,
the old one.
Yeah, in Pinocchio.
I think there's a new Pinocchio. That's
there is. Tom Hanks is in it.
Yeah, it became in the public domain, so anybody could make a Pinocchio movie now.
Oh, how creepy!
That is creepy. So when did the first Pinocchio come out?
Oh my God, it was probably like the fucking 40s.
Okay,
or something.
look up the pub scene. The pub scene in Pinocchio, and you'll remember this when you saw it as a kid. It gave you a creepy feeling in your belly.
Let's see it. Pub scene in Pinocchio.
He talks about bringing the boys to Pleasure Island, and then he starts whispering what happens to the boys, and the fox freaks out. He's like, oh, but, and he goes, no, they don't come back as boys. Watch it.
Ooh.
How would you blokes like to make some real money? Well, and who do we have to, No, nothing like that. You see? I'm collecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys? You know, the disobedient ones what play hooky from school. And you see... And then I takes him to Pleasure Island.
What's your reaction?
Pleasure Island? But the law. Suppose they... No. There's no risk. There's no risk. Come back as boys. Now, I've got a coach slow leaving at midnight. We meet at the crossroads. And no double crossing. No? Scout around. In any good prospects you find, bring him to me. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
What is that?
But come on now.
You moved it too
Come on.
close.
But he talks about that Pleasure Island, and anyways, this lady talks about the drink, the magic juice that she was offered, and she declined it. And then everybody started referencing Death Becomes Her.
I have to look into that.
Didn't
So
she
like you're
say
saying
the
like
golden juice or
Yeah,
something?
golden juice.
so you're saying like the juice that Isabella Rossellini gave them is
Yeah.
real.
That's the whole thing that I was pointing to. It's like, what the heck? It's like, is that real?
Do you think there's a level of fame that is just too dangerous for a
Yeah.
psyche?
So yeah. If you don't drink the Kool-Aid, you don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
that? Pee? A lot of golden showers in
The
Burbank.
gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
Is this in
I
a
noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send like people after you and they can like kind of moonlight as like a friend or, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing. And listen, you can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it? But then you know what I mean? Like, what if and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mostly.
I know.
This is weird that I know her name.
But
I know.
it kind of makes you think about that movie, them dying and able to live forever. But all these celebrity deaths and how people are saying some celebrities are faking their death and whatnot.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson.
Like, is that a thing? Because in the movie she does reference and she does say Michael Jackson. He was put together.
That was creepy, man. Those videos.
And that guy that went on to Larry King.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
That one always kind of gives me an ugly feeling.
Okay, Larry King. There's another guy that was at the Oscars.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
had the long hair and he just looked like
His cheekbones look
I
too
just
intense.
I just don't like the way he moves, the way
he's
the way he talks. He's like, oh my God, I can't. But she talks about the warning after she takes the drink. Remember?
Yeah, she gives it to him, then she gives him the warning.
Yeah, and then she gets mad, Meryl Streep, and that you have to fake your death.
Yeah.
In like 20, 30 years or something like that, because people are going to start getting suspicious. And it's like,
you couldn't just move like the Cullens.
No, not now.
Well, I mean, they're too famous for that, probably.
Yeah.
Or like Dorian Gray. I'm just
Right.
kidding.
Yeah. Dorian Gray.
Man, you're so gross.
Well, I have to look into that. I never even heard
Yeah,
about that one.
there's just all these different weird conspiracies like that I think are worth looking into.
Yeah.
Because now you really don't know if it's true or not. I mean, the island, Epstein's Island, was far-fetched for years. People talked about it, but it's like too far-fetched. You know what I mean? Like,
until they find it.
Yeah. How does that happen? That's not possible.
Yeah. That is like, it just grosses me out how this world is. Like how dark this world can be.
Is that all you got on Doja Cat and this whole conspiracy?
I know something's gonna come to mind the second we hang this up, but
Matt Man.
I wouldn't even talk about her other embarrassment ritual thing, where she shaved her head on camera.
Yeah, and her
because it had to be public.
Like Britney Spears type thing.
They said it had to be a public thing.
Yeah.
And she went on TikTok Live and was shaving her head and her eyebrows.
Yeah, I think I even saw like a Will Smith one like that.
But she even like went on to like say like, I'm not in the Illuminati. Like I just did this because I think I look cute or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
She
Right.
finds this and cancels your guys' channel.
I know. She's creeped me out now.
Taylor Swift, her embarrassment was Kanye West, which is kind of funny that it had to be Kanye, because he's like one of the most people can have conspiracies about him being in the Illuminati.
There's a lot around him,
right?
And like maybe there's even this one where they're trying to like make him seem crazy because he started telling the truth, about everything.
That happened with Eddie Murphy too.
It was I thought it was Martin Lawrence. I thought they were trying to kill him, and he came running out with his with a gun in his underwear. Dave Chappelle brought that up. He said that he's not crazy. They tried to make him look crazy,
which is scary.
Yeah,
it's really scary what they did to him. He said he came into his office, and his office there was a wall there. They plastered it.
Yeah,
like it was always supposed to be there.
That's so weird.
And they tried to make him think that his office was never there. They try to make him crazy too.
Yeah,
that's scary. Who? Dave Chappelle.
Really? That's fucked up. Just grab a sledgehammer.
I know. Now it's in there.
Yeah, he sounded like him.
But yeah, he even brought that up. He said like they'll try to make you look crazy.
Yeah,
like he's saying like Martin Lawrence is a strong dude, and he was saying like he's not crazy. If they're gonna come after you, they'll make you look crazy.
Yeah,
basically you'll take yourself down. Trying to tell the truth,
which is scary because he has hardcore proof that they try to make him seem like a crackhead.
Yeah,
and they told him that by the time he lands, he's going to be labeled a crackhead.
Yeah,
by the time he gets home, he'll be all over the news. And then it did happen.
Yeah,
they planted those stories, and that's really terrifying about these big companies.
Yeah, how they could just do that.
Right, they can
take you down.
They can cancel you right away. And I think that it has a big play in with all these celebrities getting canceled. I think that maybe there was a bargain that they made. I mean, not with the devil, but I mean with these different groups or cults or whatever. Is they made an actual deal, and
we kind of even touched on that on the whole Stanley Kubrick deal. Like all his symbolism in The Shining.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or Eyes Wide Shut. Like that was his way of trying to like basically show them. And he ended up dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He ended up dying after putting that out. Like before it even hit theaters, he was dead.
Yeah, and Matthew Perry, I don't trust that new assistant. That he had a new assistant for months, just for a few months before he died. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talked to her, and these people were asking like, man, she kind of seems really, really close with him. And who is she? And they told her, they said it was an assistant. And they're like, how long has she been working for him? And they said for a few months, maybe like 3 months or so, which is kind of suspicious in it of itself that he died. She just came on.
Wasn't that the same thing with Michael Jackson?
I don't remember. But that's kind of funny. And then watching her interviews and like we do have like a background in like body language and stuff and statement analysis and whatnot. And I kind of watched that through those lenses.
And it rubbed you the wrong way.
Yeah, it was like, I don't really trust. She's kind of, when someone's playing innocent, you can watch this Kevin Spacey in court. He does this thing where you pull back your ears and it gets rid of your wrinkle lines, so they think in their head subconsciously. She was doing that a lot with her ears.
That's ugly.
Pulling it back, and it's a way to play innocent. And they say the best thing to do if you're trying to deceive or whatever is just have your resting face on.
I don't know who they would make a deal with. I'm not saying this person did. Mm-hmm. Or Matthew Perry.
And I'm not saying that she killed him, but it's just kind of
yeah, that's it.
It's just kind of something that's
canceled.
I know. It's kind of out of the ordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're gonna make you look crazy. I'm not saying this person was.
You walk in, your door's plastered.
But even Bob Saget.
You never did have a podcast.
Oh, scary.
Bob Saget actually said that he thinks they're gonna kill him soon. And it was like not too long after that, he just died.
Yeah.
But then he had blunt force trauma to his head.
I never knew that.
You didn't know that? They said it was the only thing that could make that kind of blunt force trauma would be a bat.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. but he died in his bed.
What
he
the
just
heck?
Passed away. And everybody
Didn't
said
he
he seemed
just
fine.
get done with the show?
He just got done with the show. He was just about to go on tour. He just posted made a post about it. He's excited to go on tour. But a little before that, I think it was a week or so before that, he was talking about that he thinks they're going to try to come and kill him. And
what the heck? Do you think that
He just cuts you off.
I know, I was like
hold on. Go ahead.
No,
Finish.
I'm
Okay.
pretty much there. Yeah.
Do you think that them making plans is trying to save themselves?
I think
Maybe.
Like how much they push for this to be a big thing and then they just die.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson.
This is it.
Right. He planned a whole big ol' farewell, trying to make, and it was huge. It was it was like all over the news and whatnot, front pages and things
And
like
there was
that.
a bunch of stuff about him saying he was going to out the whole Illuminati deal.
Yeah.
Before that even came out.
And it's like, so do you believe a lot of the things that were said about him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're kind of bringing that up,
Because-
kind of make it bring him down.
Right, because that does kind of correlate with a lot of these different things that are happening, like these stories that are planted and whatnot. People coming out, and it's like you haven't heard about these people. They come out, but yeah, things like Matthew Perry. I think he had some plans, like he was just about to release his memoir and
He was just
whatnot,
about to come out with a new project.
which is funny because they're scared about what he's actually writing.
And
And
he was talking about he literally was saying he was working on a new project. And he was really excited to work on this thing, and then he passed away.
yeah, scary.
Yeah. So it almost seems like right before they were going to do something.
You know what's so creepy? I was researching and whatnot and looking up.
Siri just came
I know.
on.
I just seen that.
I didn't even say Siri.
Siri. Hey Siri.
Ew.
Oh.
It used to come on when I talked to it.
Yeah, I didn't even say anything about Siri. Did I say anything that sounded like Siri?
No.
I had an ad.
Look, I even said it and didn't even come on.
I had an ad come across my YouTube channel. Guess what it was?
What?
What?
Scientology.
Scary.
It's like, how did I attract that marketing?
How did I become that demographic?
I know. Do you have a bad feel or bad something about Scientology, something like that? And I was like, what the dude?
You're all, no, I do.
That kind of do. It's not what you think. It's things. I was like, what the hell?
All these videos people are posting, even around those places, it's what you think.
No, it kind of is. And in the ad, they actually show
You're being
those.
glip right now.
They actually show those things that Leah Remy talks about. Those weird.
Oh yeah.
The hell is it for?
I don't know.
Some sort of measure or something. It's like this freaking. Like they just kind of put this thing together. I don't know. Like two pop cans and a machine.
What?
It's like a weird little thing. You gotta hold on. I don't know. You gotta look at it.
Don't they get mad when you try to film around there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like they'd follow you and they're like, "Oh, I'm not following you," and they'd keep following you around.
Gaslighting you the whole
what
time.
What are you doing? You're crazy.
No.
What are you doing? You're crazy. Why are you following me from the front?
I know.
Freaking have twins come out.
Like that just reminded myself of Little Bob.
I know. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. But yeah, it's really creepy when you look at it through those lenses. And
it is.
Looking at these conspiracies and watching these artists conduct themselves like in interviews and whatnot, it's kind of creepy. Like some of the things they say. Like, why say those things if you're not?
I know. Like even like what I was saying, Anthony Bourdain. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like he just had a post on his Twitter or his X or whatever.
Yeah.
That said that, and I was like, what the hell? Like that just kind of popped up on my phone
Before he died.
Yeah. Yeah, he put that out before he died.
I seen this creepy video, and it's of this. I don't know who he is, but I'm sure people are like, you don't know who that is, but he was on Conan O'Brien's podcast. But some old dude, and Conan O'Brien's talking about Epstein, and saying and then this guy brings up Epstein like he was one of his friends or whatever, and Conan O'Brien's like, no, he's like, there's much has been said about Epstein. He's like pointing at him like jokingly.
Yeah.
And because he does know that things were said about Epstein, trying to stop him. And this guy doesn't know that Epstein died.
Really?
He doesn't even know about the whole coverage about the island and things like
He
that.
didn't know any about any of that.
Nothing.
Like he was completely out of touch.
He was like, no.
everything
He was like, Jeff Epstein, the financier, and Conan O'Brien. They bust out laughing because they can't believe that he doesn't know. And then he says, okay, so if I would know he's dead. Let me call what's her name. She was also put in prison. And Conan's all, no. She's like, she's in prison.
Oh my God.
And it's just this whole creepy thing. And I'm like, oh
That's
my God. And he was like, there's this whole thing about, he was like, Epstein with the island. And Conan's all, yes, with the island, which I have not been on. And he's like, trying to
have pump his brakes.
Right. Well, Conan O'Brien's my favorite comedian of all time. Like he's my
just
top,
hilarious.
yeah. But he's like trying to distance himself from the conversation. This guy just keeps pushing, like he doesn't.
Like he didn't want to be a clip.
Yeah, and he was like, no. He's like, he said, I would know if he died because I haven't talked to him since the beginning of COVID. And Conan's all, it does make sense because he's been dead for some years now. Like I thinks he's alive, and I was like,
They're trying to say he was.
Yeah,
that's another theory is that they say he hung himself, but he didn't.
Yeah,
and that they just kind of got him out of there.
Yeah,
and just put him somewhere.
I think Joe Rogan talked about that, and
it's ugly.
He talks about how maybe they think he was an actual agent for the government.
Yeah,
like a CIA or something, and they had this island, and I think that does make sense to like a corrupt government kind of standpoint of where they're trying to use this island to put people in vulnerable states so they can use them for like blackmail and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the conspiracies about him, was he was an agent and he's not dead.
There are many figures in our society who contribute an enormous amount to our culture, and people who have unconventional personal lives, and yet they seem exempt from criticism. Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, let me finish.
I see it.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I see it.
No one, criticizes him, and yet.
Oh, wait a minute.
I have to apologize for the fact that I know Conan O'Brien.
No, wait a minute.
That is a double standard.
Jim,
and it's wrong.
Jim,
And it's
hold on.
okay.
Hold on.
Look,
hold
Conan-
on. Much has been said about Jeffrey Epstein. Terrible things.
No, Jeff. I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Yes, we're talking about the same Jeff Epstein.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I never heard.
Oh, it was a big story in the news. Huge.
No.
Yes, for you to say no one ever
Jeff
said...
Epstein.
Yes.
Jeff Epstein.
Yes, the financier.
With the island.
Yes, he had an island that I've never been to. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, with respect, if there was some news about Jeff Epstein, I would have heard.
No, I don't know what rock you've been under. It was a huge story, and Jeff Epstein I have to tell you, he's gone. He's dead.
What do you mean?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's
No.
dead.
Sorry, nice try. If Jeff Epstein were deceased, I'm pretty sure I would know about it. Now, I admit I've not, probably since the pandemic, I have not talked to him.
That would make sense. That would make
But
sense. He's been dead for a number of years, Jim.
I'll tell you, there's one easy way. Let's call Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, we're not calling Ghislaine Maxwell.
Why not? Okay.
She's in prison. She's in prison for crimes she committed with Jeff Epstein.
Ghislaine's in prison.
Yes, stop calling her Ghislaine. How do you know these people? Jim.
Conan.
Jim.
All right.
Before you got into all of that, you just kind of reminded me of another thing we were talking about earlier. We were talking about all the whole, satanic rituals and stuff like that, or the industry trying to make you do things, and stuff like that. Kelly Clarkson tried to bring that up. She's like, when I first got into this, they tried to make me do these things like at a party. And
isn't it Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart trying to kind of like telling her to shut up.
I seen
like,
that, yeah.
Trying to tell her like,
And she's like, oh, what? They're here?
yeah, and he was like, kind of like trying to be funny, but he was literally telling her like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
It's like that's like I keep finding that clip, and it just like weirds me out because she's like trying to talk about it, and he's trying to like stop her from talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you don't know if like they're into that or if he was afraid,
Right.
Afraid of like how he knows how real that stuff is, and he's like, shut the hell up because we might get
killed or
Yeah.
canceled. Yeah.
Didn't he talk like that he was against it though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did. And then when you look into that and then like later on down the line, it's like they're into that kind of
They're
stuff.
like a part with-
Blood?
yeah.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. Okay.
He does not talk like that.
That's right. He did. He did try to come out and like talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stuff happened with him.
Whatever
right
happened to Corey
afterwards.
Feldman's thing?
They they made him look crazy.
Did they?
Yeah.
When he was talking about the whole like.
So why did he didn't get to put that thing together?
He was trying to do it before anybody else did, and they were trying to make him look crazy.
Right.
And now that it all came out, there was still no apology to him.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, he's still that.
I know Mel Gibson's working on something too like that. Didn't he already do it?
I think so.
The whole freak. What's that movie that came out and everyone's having trouble watching it? With like child trafficking, and they're showing it in theaters, and for some reason it always cuts out.
Oh man, I don't know.
You haven't seen that? Mel Gibson was involved in that too. The hell was it called? Sound of Freedom? Something like that?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this whole thing about it. People posting on TikTok saying it happened here. It happened here. They're like across the country. It happened
just
here.
keeps cutting out on them.
Yeah, they can't show it or whatever. The people come in, the lights come on. They say we can't show it. You guys can wait an hour.
Somebody actually in our family went to go watch it, and I saw them like, oh, I'm gonna go watch this movie. I heard about it, and they said it was stupid because it took like over an hour for them to even
play it,
get it going.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up just walking out.
Yeah,
Jeez, that's
that
creepy.
was happening at all these showings, and
Yeah,
some
it
of
was
them
like one
did
of our
play.
aunts or something tried to go watch it.
Yeah, some did play, but some of them took like hour to watch, 2 hours to watch.
Yeah,
some of
just
them
to get it going.
Yeah, some of them they gave them refunds, so you guys
Yeah.
can leave if you want. You can stay if you want to watch it.
Yeah, they were saying it's like real stupid. They're like, this is stupid.
They probably
Like, we're
just
gonna
told them
leave.
the fake technical difficulties.
Yeah, or they made something
probably.
actually happen with the footage. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
That's weird.
That's messed up.
But yeah, it's just like I hate how dark everything is. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like in that whole
Yeah.
industry, it gets ugly. Like if you deep dive into it, it's horrible.
People come out and complain. It's not our fault. We have to get this situated so that everybody can feel accommodated, and then we'll restart the movie. Okay?
Restart the movie.
It's about to start. Just pause it like a second before it goes. Just to let you guys know again, it is gonna get hot. It is gonna be like that throughout the whole movie.
So why is it only this one though, not all the other ones?
Because this was assigned in a theater that was smaller, unfortunately,
Oh,
due to
that's
high
bullshit,
demand
though,
and an
man.
audience.
Nah,
It was
bullshit,
just,
dude.
well,
That's
we
bullshit,
have
though.
We have a 9 and we have an 11 o'clock showing for the exchanges. You can get a full refund, or you can go ahead and get an exchange for the other times.
But we can watch it, right? They're gonna play the movie?
Yeah, we're about to play right now.
Okay.
We're just letting you guys know so we don't have any issues later. No, it's just we haven't played it right now.
Yeah, we're good. It's not gonna get hotter than this, is it? Is that what you're saying?
There shouldn't be nobody coming in.
Yeah, no, then we should.
Okay.
It's
All right,
good.
then.
I think everybody's ready. Thank you.
It's actually happening.
We'll give you our free passes to come back and see it again, hopefully without interruption. I unfortunately apologize for the inconvenience, but we're getting it hopefully looked at later in the week. Can I trust you? Sorry, guys.
Really?
This is called intentional. They
Yeah.
don't want it to go to the box office gross. Don't take the money.
Part of my job.
With our projector, we had to wait for it to download the movie. It's going to be about 30 minutes. Everyone in here is going to get a free film pass. If you want to leave, that's understandable. I'll go do a refund. I can help you. But for now, we're going to have to wait for the movie to download.
Did you change it to another theater?
I don't think so. This is the only one that has it for tonight.
So how do we get the free pass?
You can just come to us and the concessions or the gelato. If you want to leave, we can help you. If you want to refund, we can pass you do everything. It's gonna have to wait for 30 minutes. Then we're gonna fast forward the trailers and then we'll start it.
Can we get the free pass after the movie?
Yes, you can get it after the movie. Yes. After everybody here get a free pass, even if you're not leaving or if you get a refund, I don't care. You get a free
Okay.
pass.
So then you want to go?
You and everyone else in the nation. Wow. Wow. Hey, you also said you're sold out online.
Here's what we can do for you guys. These are the options that we're about to give you.
So everyone's gonna get a pass for a future movie, and then you can also get a swap into a different showtime for another day or for later tonight.
Wow.
Or you can get a refund.
How come online it said all the seats were sold out? What a f***ing joke.
It is, and you have to look. You're not going to see all that stuff on the news. You have to look into it. Like that's what I mean. That's what looking into TikTok, because TikTok is one of the few things that doesn't have all those censors over it. Like all this stuff that was going on in like London and stuff, you could not find it on Instagram, Facebook, none of that. But if you look onto on TikTok, there was like a whole revolution going on there, and all these riots and everything going on. But you couldn't find it anywhere else. You go look on Instagram, all you see is people's travel pictures there,
which is kind of funny too. Is
and people were like on live.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of live videos and stuff on TikTok,
which is funny too because
I literally just said that.
I know,
because the government's always.
You
pushing,
said it like it was your idea.
I know.
Government's always
Like
pushing. Government's always pushing for it to be banned too.
Yeah,
TikTok.
I know, and I think that's one of the main reasons why.
Yeah, because it's.
Didn't they say it's gonna be canceled here in Montana?
Yeah, on the first of the year, it's supposed to be out of here.
I wonder if it's just gonna like slow down or something.
You're not gonna be able to like download it when you're
See,
here.
can't even upgrade my phone.
You
You gotta keep my phone.
Go down to Wyoming just to download TikTok.
I know me and Dakota talked about that. We're like, just go to Wyoming. That's like us stupid.
Gotta get a VPN.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna get one for the house VPN blocker, so they can't triangulate my. Putin's trying to find me.
His scary ass guards.
Because that comedian, man, he was freaking funny. I forgot his name. He was on Kill Tony. Go look it up, Kill Tony, and there's this guy, and he's like shooting. Putin's trying to triangulate my position. And later on, he's like, Pelosi's trying to find me or something. But Casey Rocket or something like that.
Okay,
the guy's hilarious. He's a new comedian. But yeah, it's just funny that with TikTok's being banned in a lot of states, and there's just a whole bunch of censoring happening, and it does creep me out, man. But the best way to get your knowledge in these things is through TikTok or through social media, because people are actually taking their time out of their day to go and research these things and find old videos and whatnot and putting those together and presenting a case. And that's what they're doing, is they're presenting a case.
There was this, oh my God. There was
You're getting really bad with Whatnot.
I know.
You need to cut to that scene of just, what is it?
Shark Tales?
No, it's on Netflix. No, it's a show on Netflix. They call her the Whatnot Girl. You're turning into the Whatnot Girl.
Oh, shoot, gosh. Okay.
Dolores and me together, it's like we laugh at the wrong time.
I know. Earlier when you said something about Satan, can Satan persuade you? I was going to say Mark can be persuaded with cheeseburgers.
If Satan had a couple of these.
So in that like segment, I'm like smiling at like the wrong time when you said something, and I was like,
"Did you say Satan had a couple of these?"
Talking about burgers. No.
You're a liar. You're a damn liar.
Oh shoot.
What I was gonna say was there was this guy. He was saying there, like people were talking about how they want to ban TikTok because of like privacy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they're gonna get our information and stuff like that, like China. And there was this whole thing about that. Though there was this whole thing about that. I was saying, whatever, dude. They have how many other social medias?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And there was this one guy. He's gaming up online, and he started talking about how much clearance he has and all this stuff, and nobody'd believe him. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you right now." He goes and starts giving away everything. He films it, him going into these places, showing information. And they're afraid that TikTok's gonna get your information. You got dumbasses like that.
Oh my
God, just giving it up.
That's horrible.
You never seen that?
Huh.
Oh my God, I remember I was talking to my friend Tony. He used to work with us, but yeah, was talking to him about it, and oh my god, he lost it. He was laughing his ass off. He's like, people are so stupid.
I really don't know though. I don't know if it'll be banned or not. Privacy now
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
I mean, I followed this guy. His name's Gary Vaynerchuk. I learned from him too
Yeah.
with marketing and whatnot. But he talks about how privacy is going to be non-existent, and no one's going to care.
Yeah.
No one's really going to care about you, what they find out, or what, you know what I mean. It's not. They're not going to care. He says he believes that within like the next 20 years, everyone's going to know exactly how much money you have in your bank account. It's going to be a thing on your Instagram or something like that.
What the hell?
He thinks that privacy is going
I wouldn't doubt it though.
He's
Like
gonna
the way this world's
right.
going.
It's going to get to the point to where those things are going to be like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like we're like, so much progress. I'm like, I'm not excited.
Right,
about
yeah.
I'm not. I just feel like the world's failing us.
Mark's like
$150. Remember Al?
Everybody's gonna see my 150.
Mark's like, I'm negative 2 Big Macs.
Yeah, I hate it. I do.
Yeah, I don't buy that whole secrecy thing. When it comes to government spying on you, that kind of bothers me.
It's all tied together.
Yeah, but Dolores is
Like,
like,
I know Siri earlier.
I know, it just kind of came on. I didn't even say Siri, and it came on.
To give you
I said
guys-
Siri again, it didn't come on.
you guys all think that Dolores is, because I watch back your episodes and I'm like, she looks so normal.
What do you mean?
You look so
Oh,
normal.
don't you even
We
fucking
look
bring
crazy.
it up. Don't you start.
She looks so
I was
normal.
like 10.
She doesn't look crazy. I bet you still do this.
I do not.
I would walk around the house and I would find these little pieces of tissue sticking out the wall. And I'd be like, what are these? And Dolores is like, the government. So they don't watch us. There's cameras everywhere.
She's not normal.
It's because of Grandpa. That's like that I did that. He was so paranoid. He made me paranoid. Only like 10 years old.
Probably still does that.
I do not. Yeah, I cover up my camera phone. Just kidding.
Grandpa.
When I'm on there, I like cover up the camera.
Oh my
Which
God.
grandpa?
Grandpa Marvin.
I was gonna say the one who actually trained in Area 51.
Yeah,
I believe
see?
him.
So-
I'll believe him if he says it. I believe him.
Easy why I was like
I was just
nuts
talking to
back
Grandma,
then.
and she's gonna give me those pictures when he was
Wow.
there.
I didn't even know
I was
about
just
that
talking to her
until
yesterday.
years after he passed away.
Yeah, I brought it up on the podcast when Dad was here. It just blew his mind. I had to bring it on while the camera's on him.
Because Dad
he freaks out.
We've never had any conversation with Dad about his involvement with Area 51 with Grandpa Marvin, and then Mark brought it up to Dad, and Dad's like, "Yeah."
He
No,
pauses
it's like-
for a second, and then he says, "Yeah." It's like he
I-
looked at me like,
I just
"You're not supposed to talk about
I
that."
just remember this thing where Letha used to get mad at me all the time because the way I did it, the mind blowing thing, like, I would
Yeah.
always go.
Yuck.
Your ears.
It's like your piece of skin hanging there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hanging down. That's so
gross.
morbid.
That's what
Do
it is.
But yeah, like actually, Grandma was the one that told me about it when I was over there, and I remember seeing some pictures that she had up, and that's when I was like, "What, really?" She's like, "Yeah," she told me about it, and then I had to bring it up like on the podcast because I didn't want to ask Dad anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I asked him here, like kind of put him on the spot. And when I said, he kind of stared at me for a second, like, "Yeah," he did. Blew his mind.
There was so many things that our grandfather was into that just blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that Dad experienced growing up, it just blows my mind. But yeah,
As careful as that man was, he never wore his seatbelt.
I know.
You get in his car, they were all seatbelted in already.
I know.
Dad got so mad because when I would go ride with him, I would click the seatbelt in, then sit down.
okay. So I know we're getting off track,
Just
but
get in and cut the belts off.
I gave Grandpa a ride home from a ride to Hardin in his car. Dad dropped me off at his house, and he's like, "Drive his car to Hardin." I was like, "All right." So I'm doing the speed limit, 80 miles an hour, right? On the speedometer. Remember that one turn where it's like really sharp?
Yeah.
And you can clear it 80 miles an hour, no problem. In his car, man, you could feel the car doing this.
Oh my God.
I'm like holding it. I'm like, oh my God. And we get it past it, and it's like, and Grandpa's like, yeah, you can hit that 80 miles an hour, no problem. Nobody does that and when they're driving me, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then come to find out, that car was like 15 miles over the.
Oh my gosh!
I was going 95 around that.
You guys would have gotten a car
Oh
accident.
my goodness.
Terrifying. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone thought I looked normal in these videos. I'm just kidding.
She's just crazy.
China.
No, I feel like Aaron's gonna tease me about that.
You know what? It surprises me.
gotta-
It surprises me how creeped out Aaron gets.
I know.
Because the way he is, like, Aaron's just the grumpiest person. He knows this. He's the grumpiest old man ever. But when things happen,
He's
like,
a young grandpa.
Yeah, when things happen, he's just so grumpy. Like this, he gets snippy with like people. It's hilarious. But when things happen, he gets really creeped out about it. You know what I mean? And that surprised me about him, that he gets creeped out. But
that's what made me laugh when we were trying to get the computer and everything ready when recording, like in our earlier days.
Oh, right, yeah.
And after that shot glass flew out, then that voice on the computer is really low. He was so freaked out. I remember him sitting there. It almost makes me laugh. I think he still had that footage. He's sitting there staring at it, and then he just starts going in his eyes, trying to fathom what the hell's going on. Because it's like not normal. Like none of that was normal.
It's just dramatic.
Yeah.
So is that all we got on Doja Cat?
Yeah,
we kind of just barely
kind
touched
of in and out, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm not saying these things are true. I'm just saying these theories are out there.
Yeah,
and it's weird when these people come up with them. It is. I mean, I see how they tied that one to Matthew Perry.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know.
God, just
I
the
hate looking at
TikTok
it.
video thing grossed
That
me
thing is
out.
just-
And when you
it's
said that
unsettling.
dot was gone.
The weirdest thing about it though
It's
was
unsettling.
TMZ had to go and talk about it.
Did they?
Yeah, while it
I
was
didn't see
happening, that there's this whole conspiracy about Matt Man and the whole thing and whatnot. They had to hush or put the conspiracies to rest. They said,
Yeah.
and they talked about it. It's like a day after he died or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, when does that happen? When do?
I never seen him do that before. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
That's kind of it's weird.
Is they're trying to like hush up the conspiracies? Like they're giving the mass population that watches television still that it's just a conspiracy. Don't believe it. Which
Yeah.
I believe that people that just watch television all the time who actually pay for it, which is like stupid now. Like I tell mom all the damn time if you're listening, mom. But it's like paying for these like things like DirecTV and stuff because you have like streaming service. Like I have every streaming service possible now.
It costs as much as DirecTV now.
Yeah.
If you-
I know, put together.
But you can watch it all when you want.
Put together it all costs. the
Yeah,
same.
but you can watch what you want when you want.
Right, but they're still trying to control the narrative, which is funny because
Yeah.
like there are YouTube videos that get way more coverage than the news nowadays.
I
Like
know.
we live in a world now to where everybody is recognizable in some way.
Yeah.
I've seen you on TikTok. I've seen you on Facebook. Whatever, it happens all the time.
I know.
And it's like you live in that
I
world.
know. I just can't walk around anymore.
Oh my god.
Marcus.
I got recognized by my laugh.
Right,
That
you're-
was funny.
you're
That
the
was
Big
a
Mac
good-
guy.
yeah.
Hey, that's that chubby boy on the internet.
On that near internet.
You're the makeup guy.
I think that was the funniest one though, was when somebody recognized me by my laugh. Like I started laughing and they're like kind of looking at me and they came up and they asked, "Are you falling out?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you watch it?" He's like, "No, we listened to it."
I know, I was
I was
saying
like,
from
"Oh,
the
weird."
podcast.
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
weird.
"Yeah." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, we were just listening to you on the way here." And it was in
Weird.
Billings, and I was
I know
like,
it always
"What the
surprises
hell?"
me, and I always tell Dolores, I was like, it's always surprising me about who listens to the podcast and actually follows along, and it's
Yeah,
really cool.
that one was actually kind of funny because like usually like get recognized by like seeing you, but
Yeah.
like actually hear like my laugh is what they recognize.
Yeah.
So that made me laugh.
Yeah, that is funny.
He
I started
You
laughing.
gave him that.
No, that's good.
Send him off with a laugh.
Social media.
Right. Anyways, these companies are getting into more of the social media aspect. They're trying to push their voice onto social media, and I don't think it's going to work. They're trying to push their narrative into social media now. And I mean, now anchors just don't exist anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you don't recognize news anchors anymore.
I know.
Unless you're El Roker.
Ooh, remember his?
Oh, at the like he like shut down.
Right.
Yeah, when they said leave space for the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And he just
kinda, like,
zoned out.
he,
Ooh,
like,
that was
froze.
so creepy.
That is weird.
There was another one with Shaq, and that one like creeped me out.
Oh
where
my
he just like he was
God.
like frozen. I seen a bunch of them like that, and they were trying to talk about like them
And
being
they
like
just
mind
continued
controlled.
on.
Right.
And Katy Perry, like one with her, and her like
Oh,
eye
her
was
eye.
like yeah,
And she was like touching
tapping
right
it.
here.
And like other ones where they just
Gross.
shut down, and it's like so weird.
The cabinet, the guy in the what's his name?
Oh, you mean where he just kind of stopped talking and just started staring?
Was he a governor?
I think he was, yeah, governor.
And he kind of shuts down.
Yeah, he kind of stops. And you can see that lady, like, I remember seeing a lady come over and touch him.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, maybe she did something. And there was a guy, like, watching. She kind of smiles when she does it. And then he just purely shuts down.
Or Cardi B.
Yeah, that one, too.
That one was weird.
I know. I hate watching those videos, man. It creeps me out.
It is creepy. And then after that, I remember seeing him try to do another, like, press conference or something. And the crowd was chanting retire. For that guy to retire. Because they were saying maybe they're just too old.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like not even just him. I mean, all these young people, same things are happening. Like they're thinking maybe it's just stress, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this whole thing about like this is gonna like go into another rant, but there's this whole thing about them like when they're signing contracts doing music, they're literally they give them like $1 million. Now they have to go out and pay that money back, basically by doing all these concerts and everything,
right?
And like running themselves ragged till they are basically like shut down.
Yeah, I believe that. The Illuminati thing is, if you look at their actual structure, is they're at the top, but there's these, they mentioned the Bilderbergs, they call them Bilderbergers in the Illuminati thing.
Build-A-Bear. I'm just kidding.
Build-A-Burger.
Federal Reserve.
Okay, chill out.
I know.
come on. But Bilderberg, I almost said Build-A-Bear.
I almost went all Homer Simpson when he says donut. Burger.
The Federal Reserve, which is there's a conspiracy about that being started by Illuminati. That's on the pyramid, things like that. And but yeah, that's up there.
I remember for a long time he was afraid to talk about like Illuminati stuff.
Who?
Was I really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I was like, China.
Stupid.
Like they're gonna come get me.
Yeah. They're just gonna make you look crazy.
No, I think what's with he keeps saying
you don't need their help.
I think with all these TikToks and stuff, and so many voices out there talking about conspiracies, podcasts. I was talking about this like last year, I think, about how I think there's going to be some sort of misinformation act probably implemented about podcasts or TikToks.
They were already trying, remember?
Yeah, and I think there's just so many voices out there now that they're just letting this stuff slip. Like if it's a conspiracy and it becomes true, like, it's true, whatever. Like there wasn't really a big deal about the Epstein thing. Like they just kind of let it play out.
It's one of those things where they try to take it down.
Yeah,
like they delete their videos, like but people nowadays they'll just keep reposting them and reposting them and reposting them.
Mm-hmm.
This got taken down. I'm posting it again and I'm posting it again.
People are smart to like screen record right away when
they'll
they see
make
something.
another account and they'll do that. Yeah, they'll screen record everything now.
Yeah,
and everything that's put out there now, somebody
has
screenshotted it or screen recorded it and they'll put it out.
It's so stupid because celebrities.
It's like infectious the way it works.
The celebrity thing is they'll try to delete it right away, which is so stupid because everyone's gonna see it.
I know,
but it's like, are they also trying to like play into that? You know what I mean? Are they doing it on purpose or?
I thought that whole thing was gonna happen with this, but like with Doja Cat's freaking her own TikTok is actually that's where it's at. That's what makes it so.
And she hasn't
strange.
commented on it yet, or talked about
Didn't say
it,
anything.
or
She just leaves it there, and it's the only video. She deleted thousands of videos and left this one up.
And it is kind of funny that you really can't find anything about it on YouTube or Google search or things like that. It's all on like you're saying, it's TikTok. It's like there's all these people talking about conspiracies, and that's like a big side of TikTok is all these conspiracies, and they're really compelling.
Yeah,
unless you're a flat earther.
Yeah, just in case, I screen recorded that whole Doja Cat thing when I saw it because I thought maybe she might take it down sometime.
Yeah,
I think so. It's just in your phone.
Yeah, it's in my phone. I
think,
was like so paranoid, like I'm gonna be sleeping at 3:00 in the morning and I hear it go off on my phone.
Oh my god,
that'd be so unsettling.
That Friends theme song is gonna be haunting now. Like I don't.
That's what bugs me, man. She ruined it, dude. Like,
Yeah,
she ruined it.
She creeps you out. She creeped out everybody.
Just her picture, her freaking picture on her TikTok. It's just so like
the one that was all
ugly.
dark and someone
it's
brightened
looks
it.
like it's all
Yeah.
It just bugged me, man. I was like, man, why is this chick doing this stuff?
Why is she creeping us out?
I know, but it's just the fact that she put it up before he passed away. That's what makes it more unsettling.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's the only thing on her page that she left up even after he passed away. She didn't think like, oh, it was in bad taste. She left it there. And the whole thing, even with the dots and everything, that kind of just weirded me out.
That is weird. I got to look into that. I'll put all those in this video. Oh, there's this whole beef. I was telling
I
Dolores.
won't mention it, but anyway.
I was telling Dolores about this. There's this whole beef with Tom Segura and what is his name? Garth Brooks.
What?
Oh, hey, that's what I said too. Remember?
Yeah, there's all these. If you go to his Instagram and you go to all his videos, because he blocked commenting now, so you can't comment on his new videos anymore or his lives or nothing because of Tom Segura. Tom Segura just repeated what he heard on TikTok. And TikTok, there's some guy that put this whole thing together of every time Garth Brooks goes on tour, in all those cities he hits, there's like a death here and there. And people disappear. People disappear from his concerts, things like that. And so Tom Segura goes on to his podcast, which is like massive, repeats it, and now people are commenting all over Garth Brooks' social media saying, "Where are the bodies? Where are the bodies?" Like every other comment.
Well, I guess I'm safe. I'm not a fan. I don't care about Garth Brooks.
You just be in town when a concert's happening.
I know, just being in town, I guess.
You wake up and Garth Brooks is in your house.
That's weird. I didn't hear about that.
I know, I didn't either.
I didn't hear about that.
That's
But
strange. I gotta look
yeah,
into
there
that.
was somebody that went to his concert too, and there was this fan in the crowd, and it says "I love you, Garth" or something like that, and then as soon as the camera goes to them, it shows that part, and then he drops it, and it says, "Where are the bodies?"
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is at Houston, wherever the fucking I think the Texans play. It's like 80,000 people, and this is the jumbotron, and then it just cut right back to Garth. So that was I mean, it was captured by.
So do you think does Garth know who you are? Garth. Really?
And I guess he hates Tom Segura. He just hates him.
Wow. I gotta look into that.
It's like, what the dudes? It's so weird. So I had to go look at his Instagram. His actual, it's still a buttload of posts about
Tom
it.
Segura, he's funny.
I know, at least one of my tops too. Freaking hilarious.
I didn't know there was a whole thing about that. That's messed up. Like it is.
Yeah, but I mean, people,
not that it's Garth Brooks, but that people are either dying or going missing. That's
it's just
messed
a
up.
fan that's a serial killer.
I know.
That's what he was thinking too. Was
God.
like maybe there's somebody on his crew, but Tom Segura's thing is Tom Segura's thing is like
You're like, this is all speculation.
This is all speculation. Don't kill me, Garth Brooks. No one's kidding. But he's saying that. Oh my god! Someone's gonna freaking cut this. And then, like he died. He actually died.
You should just play that at the end of your video. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Freaking don't kill me, Garth Brooks. That's freaking
Or a scary song is like Garth got him. Just
Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
I don't know why I lost it because
it's making me sweat.
You're so stupid. Okay.
But he's like, he does give off these creepy vibes.
Garth Brooks does?
Yeah.
I know. Didn't he even have an alter ego?
Something, but
he had like
Dude, I'm
he had
sweating
like
again.
emo. He had like emo hair.
You're nervous.
I know. I'm like, don't kill me.
Oh wow. Okay. So
I'm just a small town crow boy. Soxawaddle boy.
So do you think that it might be like one of his like fans that are like at all his concerts?
I don't know.
He's just following a big crowd.
That's what I said. Now you're just stealing what I say. You're such a dick.
While you're talking, I'm gonna dub over to Dolores' voice saying that.
Okay.
But No, but he was saying Tom Segura, he believes it's him. But yeah, people are speculating maybe.
You don't think he's just saying it just to be a dick?
I think now he
He
is.
thinks it's funny.
But it's like if you watch his old interviews and stuff, like he talks about this charity about building homes for people that don't have homes. He's like happy about it. Like he can't put on like a sympathetic tone.
Oh, there's Trish and him. What's going on?
Okay, what's going on
Trish
here?
looks good too.
Buddy Garth Brooks here.
And Trisha Yearwood.
And guess what?
Habitat for Humanity is back on the road.
That's right. The Carter Work Project returns. And they're going to come to Charlotte in October of 2020.
He can't do it.
Right. And we can't wait to see you there.
He can't
That's
be
right.
sincere.
And the Carters will not be here. They're enjoying their retirement back in Plains, Georgia. So the building
They're 90.
is up to you and us.
Let's do this for them. Let's do this for us. Do it for yourselves.
Amen. I love it. Let's go build something.
Every time there's something charity related that
Or
he's
sincere.
like, hey, Jimmy, what emotion should I do for charity? And they're like, just laugh it up. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, why is Habitat?
Especially the refugees.
Yeah, the refugee. He's laughing at the refugees and the Habitat for Humanity. Why
if
are
you don't know,
laughing?
Habitat for Humanity is building homes for people that don't have them.
Yeah, it's not funny.
You know, he's like, Habitat for Humanity's back. We're gonna build some houses for poor people.
Yeah.
It's funny because Tom Segura talks about it and he comes on and he's like laughing about it, like saying he's gonna be in town, whatever. There was an old interview about him saying he wanted to play a bad guy in a movie. He wanted to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, no, I want to kill someone. And it's like, that's kind of creepy. In this light.
Weird. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a whole thing.
I told you so.
You're kidding. What?
I told you so.
Okay.
Now, I know you have, I think, a role in Nashville Beat. We're
Right.
going to show a clip in a minute, but have you thought about expanding that and going on to the movies, maybe be a cowboy?
Yeah, I told them if they ever need somebody to be a bad guy, which is weird, I'd love to be a bad guy.
No, you don't want to be a bad guy, no. I mean, you look like a good guy, you know?
Okay, I guess. I'd rather kill somebody.
Oh, you would?
That'd be fun.
Have you seen this?
Do you want to hear something that I just heard?
Yeah.
So I've talked about him quite a bit, about Garth Brooks.
I know you guys have had some issues.
And I found out, first I got word about a year ago from like a 100% reliable source.
Seems good.
That I was like, does he know? And they're like, oh yeah, he knows. And I was like, is he upset? And they're like, he's just like, doesn't get it. Like, doesn't know why you're talking about him. I was like, okay. And then recently, I guess, so he just blocked me on Instagram.
Oh.
And I was like, it finally blocked me, you know? And then another person told me, they go, yeah, I heard, this person said to me that they heard from a reliable source that when my name comes up to him, that he on his phone shows the video of me playing basketball and falling, and it goes, karma. Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking pretty amazing.
Wow.
That a serial killer is finding it in their heart to say karma for the other person. Like, this man has, I mean, people are saying this man is responsible for hundreds of missing people, and he's gonna say that it's karma.
Well, yeah, somebody matched up. I saw something where they matched up like his tour dates with missing people.
That's the whole that's the premise of this idea. Like,
Okay.
people are like saying that I'm, like trolling the guy. All I'm doing is repeating what I've heard, that allegedly his tour schedule aligns with like dozens of missing persons.
Yeah.
That is strange. That's a weird one. I never heard about that one.
Dolores is like, you're so dead.
I know.
Dude, you're screwed.
He's gonna come to our town, and you're gonna get Brooks.
You're gonna wake up in Doja Cat and Garth Brooks at the end of your bed.
To see a freaking cowboy hat come
You just hear his boots on the floor.
It'd be hilarious if he just had like a 20-gallon hat and just keeps going.
Scary Movie 3.
Yeah. Oh god.
You guys are so dumb.
Like a nightmare. There's so much hat. Oh my god. conspiracies coming out about these artists and stuff. It's just insane. I think we should probably like pick and choose and go through those. But
yeah, they get nuts.
Yeah. That train's gonna take forever. So on that note, my name is Cedar Link. This is Marcus, and we are joined tonight by our sister, Dolores Barr. You can find her on TikTok at Tremble Before Her. You can also search us on Facebook.com at Fallen Hour, YouTube at Fallen Hour. We're also on Twitter, TikTok, Fallen_hour. You can find us on the web at fallenhour.com. You can pick up some stickers, and we have some other things there you can buy, and we'll ship them to you. So, yeah, my name is Cedar Linick. Again, this is Marcus again, and Dolores Barr.
That's so ugly.
You're listening to Fallen Hour Radio. That was a horrible ending.
That was a horrible podcast.
That was a horrible. We're all over the place.
You gotta keep on it. That's so funny.